Hey everybody, welcome to another video. Today is going to be a special video because we have somebody invited to it. Another Brain Directories owner, Evelyn.
Hi, Luis. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
No problem. Evelyn, thank you and welcome. So you said that you had a couple questions about that you saw in the Facebook group, plus questions about developers and things like that. So if you can remind me again.
Yes, I have a couple of questions that I found on the Facebook BD group,
Hmm.
and also that I have since I got my license with Brilliant Directories.
Okay, beautiful. So shoot, let's start to optimize the video. Hmm.
Okay, perfect. Well, the first one that I have is why do I need a developer on my side if it's supposed that I can do a lot of things with Brilliant Directories
Okay. Oh, good.
platform?
That's a very long question. Okay. But basically, is this you, independently on which platform you're gonna be selecting for your online business, The whole thing starts with the concept of the online business. So you have a, a massive amount of platforms that you can select. Okay. For your specific niche, industry, geographical location, demographic, etc., etc., etc. Depending on that, you end up with a specific one. In this case, you're in Brilliant Directories. Awesome. Why do you need a developer on Brilliant Directories? It's the same reason why you would need somebody on WordPress, Wix, Magento, and a bunch of others. Okay. You might need additional custom work. It could be visual or it could be functional. Okay, so like backend stuff uh, that the platform doesn't offer by default. And specifically on Brilliant Directories, you are able to like there's others that can do it, but not uh, like most of them don't even give you the option. At least here you have the option of at least the option of customizing your site to a really high degree. That's where an actual developer can come in. So you can hire a front end designer and a developer so they can redesign your whole site so it looks like Yelp, Care.com, even Wix, Amazon, a bunch of different sites. Okay, that you want Facebook, Twitter, whatever you want, whatever you want.
Okay.
That Brain Directories actually gives you the option, or better yet, let me rephrase that. It gives the developer or a developer the option of of offering you the possibility of customizing the site to whatever you want. You're not restricted by the default functionality of the platform. You're not limited by the design or functional features. Most Brain Directories owners don't know that. Most Brain Directories owners actually look at other BD sites and they immediately assume, yep, this is all I can do. The Brain Directories themes, for example, I think was Demo Boost. Yeah, I think it's Demo Bootstrap. Let me see. Okay, yeah. So on Demo Bootstrap, they only offer what 12. Okay, 12 themes. So like if you click here, uh, people will think that well, I can only select, I can only be this one or that one or no. We've done sites that look like Zillow or Realtor or Trulia or Facebook or Twitter, even Amazon, Udemy. Okay, like learning platform. We've done everything. But that's only because the platform, the BD platform, offers me, a developer, the possibility of redesigning, recoding the whole thing so the platform adapts to your need, to your actual thing. This goes for both a front end designer and developer and a back end developer. Okay, meaning you can add functionality, new functionality to the site, or you can add new designs and looks and feel to the site. You got no limits. It's just that it's very hard for me to actually explain this to people so they think outside the box and they comprehend that, hey, you can literally grab ideas, design ideas, or functionality ideas from any other site out there and put
Okay.
them on your BD site. So why do you need a developer on the site? You don't if the default themes, okay, and the
Mm-hmm.
default functionality is enough for what you want to sell. If it's not enough, that's when a developer comes in. Okay,
Okay.
so
And
mhm.
sorry, according to your answer, if I decide to find or to get a developer for my site, what should he needs to know before working on this site?
Okay, so I actually created a document about that. So give me a second.
Okay.
Because when I was working on BD, on Brand Directories years ago, somebody asked that and I created a list of points about it. Give me a second. Okay. BD for developers. BD for yeah, here it is. Okay. So let me put this into perspective. Okay, let me put it here. Let me move it over here. Okay. Okay, this is the long version. Let me look for the short version for a developer. So here, okay, so yeah, this one. So if a developer is watching this video, they need to know HTML, better yet HTML5, like main, section, articles. These are the base languages that BD uses. They need to know CSS, especially some special things about CSS here. They need to know JavaScript. Here are these are called the libraries that are based on JavaScript that BD uses to do certain things on the site. Okay, so they need to know this one's here. On PHP, they do need to know, the deeper that we go, the more that they actually need to know. So on JavaScript, they need to know these things, and that will be more than enough. Okay, but on PHP, they actually
Okay.
need to know more because if they make a boo-boo and a mistake, it normally will turn into a big mistake. Okay, and on MySQL, I just wrote this. You better know it perfectly. Yeah, like they literally need to know it perfectly. If they make a mistake at the MySQL level, it actually cripples PHP, JavaScript, and it could kill you the whole site. So the lower that we go, the more that they actually need to know about that specific language. But here, HTML, super basic. CSS, super basic too. JavaScript, it's getting deeper there. PHP, they need to know it thoroughly. MySQL, they better know the whole thing. Okay.
Okay.
I did put all this here because at one point somebody asked, let me put this, uh, what what type of software engineers or developers or careers this especially is for businesses or people that actually need an IT department. Well, from that to our software.com that you went to, that partnership that we offer is actually it's the point of this. So I don't advertise it because I suck at marketing, but point being, if you try to look for a system administrator, like a hiring actual system administrator,
Mm-hmm.
most of these careers, you're talking about paying somebody between $5,000 a month and $12,000 a month. Okay, and these are, but not even this one. Let's assume that they don't even know about the platform because I'm gonna touch that one too. But here you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different careers or specializations
Mm-hmm.
there, and let's assume that it's 5,000 for each professional that you hire there. That's 5 times 8, 5,000 times 8 per month. And we normally charge this like for now it's 1,200 a month. So they're getting
Okay.
40 times and more cheaper the same knowledge, experience. Like just me, I got 20 something years of experience, just me. But the whole crew in total that we're, let's put it like that. We know a lot about not just Brain Directories, but other platforms. But I don't put all this because it's a lot it's too much to digest. It's overwhelming. So, for example, if you hire a system administrator, they're supposed to be able to manage your server configurations and library configurations there, either on the BD site or on a third-party site that is, for example, in our cases, we've done third-party servers that are behave like an API gateway. Okay, so like Zapier, you have your own Zapier on your own server that you want to make it behave in certain ways. Okay, so but you will own it, and it will be
Okay.
super flexible for you. System administrator also needs to take care of the security. Needs to take care of, let's say that, for example, this specific one, API optimization and scalability, are for cases where we had BD owners that wanted to do streaming. So like it works like this: they would create an event on their BD site that people would book, okay, to it, and they pay through the site. They pay through the site and they book them. And then instead of using YouTube, which you can use YouTube too, or Vimeo or something, they would stream it through their own server, and then it would save a backup to YouTube. But they would be streaming it through their own server, and it would be streaming server. So we would need to optimize and do a lot of things at that level. But it's an additional service or feature that they offer to their members on their BD site. So it's not a normal event like you're used to, like here that you just you go to an event and it's a static event and you click there and you're done. No. Once the whole thing is done, the people that actually join the event, they get a notification. They actually come to a special page on your BD site and they see a live event about it. And then obviously the backup of that event or the recording of that event ends up in YouTube, Vimeo. I remember that case that they actually wanted the video to actually end up um, in 3 different platforms, so that was included in the API work there. So one-to-one meetings, which basically you're gonna find in all of them. This is very important. So I've seen cases where the developer doesn't want to talk to the client. I yeah, I don't understand that because there's so many questions that each of the different frames of careers, you literally need to talk to the client.
Of
And
course.
you need to grab a lot of, like, if we were to work together in any of this, I would I would shoot out a bunch of questions to you about how does that work, why are you doing it like that, what's your target audience, what you're trying to accomplish with this, what's the deadline, on which stage are we on, etc., etc. Things that will help me make sure that this is feasible, that we can do in the time frame that we're talking about, that we have enough time to do QA, quality assurance,
Yep.
add new features, grow with you. That's why they're called partnerships, because we actually grow with you. And
Exactly.
that's the system administrator part. On the database administrator, which I end up always helping other developers on the marketplace or on other platforms. Like I've helped a lot of people in completely different platforms that are not BD. So these are the things that they're supposed to know. Okay. Data
Perfect.
consistency and validation is basically part of the security there. They should be able to know how to create automated procedures that get executed every so often. They should be able to know about how to do data analysis and database analysis and auditing the database, just in case it's slow. We want to optimize it, etc., etc., etc. Okay,
All
same
right.
one-to-one meetings, because I will need to ask you how the thing works. On front-end designers, we don't have a front-end designers on our specific case. We do work with another one. She's great. She's awesome doing front-end designers. She asks a lot of questions about UX, UI design, and all that. And she's helped us
Okay.
with a lot of BD owners, okay, and WordPress owners too. But she doesn't work directly with us. But I included that here because it's
Okay.
something that you could find with with somebody that works in this area on the online business aspect. So they should be taking care of layout design, UX UI, which is user experience and user interaction in regards to the look and feel of the site. usability, which is very important, the flow analysis, meaning how they go from the home page or a specific page to another page, like point A to point B. How's the flow through that? This is normally applied to when you're funneling members from one page to another one, or you want them to join, to them to turn into from a visitor to a client, to a potential client, to somebody actually paying you.
Okay.
Okay, something like that. A front-end developer basically works. We do have a front-end developer, awesome, that works with what the front-end designer creates. They're not the same. These are two different
Mm-hmm.
careers. And they use the layout, the blueprint that the front-end designer created, so they can create all the code. Um, they also take into consideration a lot of things here about how the containers adapt depending on the devices, or if they show at all. Responsive design, same thing here. There's a lot of things that we take into consideration that we don't mention, but we put into place when somebody actually asks for specific things. Like we don't go very geeky into details, but
Okay.
that's why we take a little bit longer to create certain things, um, specific front end things, but it's because we're adding a lot of, let's put it like this, value added experience into it, so that you don't come back to us later in the future because of something dumb. Okay.
Yeah, that's very important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So backend developers, it would be me and others in the team. We actually do the magic in the backend, the functionality, how the database is called and optimized, security. We do. There's a lot of things, especially this one. This is a concept that I'm trying to explain to everybody always. We live in a cloud-based environment now. It's totally different from 20, 25 years ago. Okay, so you always need to think about scalability, because I don't know if your business concept idea will grow over time or scale super fast. I need
Okay.
to assume that that's going to happen. That's why some of those optimizations that we do that take a little bit longer is because I don't want to handle this when it's too late. I want to do it now. I want to do it properly, correctly, based on more than 20 years of experience there. So that's why we that's the added value, magic that we do there. QA engineers, for example, if you were to hire a QA engineer, I also do QA there. They should be able to analyze the site from an e-directory. I don't know if you noticed, but an e-directory has three layers. It has the point of view of the admin, which is you. It has the point of
Okay.
view of the members, which are your clients, and then it has the point of view of the visitors, which in many cases are the clients of your clients. So when a QA engineer comes to an e-directory site, they're supposed to do a visitor point of view analysis and then a member point of view analysis. Okay, which are the two that are going to be generating you income or growing your traffic or growing your content, however you want to handle that. Flow design, as you can see, is tied with the front end and the front end designers and developers. Okay, that's part of them. They all relate to each other in one way or another. Accessibility design check is also important because you don't know if the person that's coming to the site, they have any impairment, like a eye, you know, touch, something. Something is happening to them. So if the site actually needs this actually takes a really long time to implement, but that's part of the QA engineers. hmm Also the security, obviously, because if you put a field, for example, that you're expecting to have the first name, and they put a number, they put some weird stuff there, the QA engineer should be able to test that and show you that it's broken, so that the backend and the front end developers can fix it. A UX
Okay.
engineer is also another one that it's very similar to the QA and the front end designers, but they specialize in the user experience, mainly in the user experience. So they have human psychological
Oh.
behavior, influence of color patterns. These two, actually, I touched base on them on one of my videos here about how colors can actually affect the behavior of somebody actually joining your site or thinking it twice before paying you, etc., etc., etc. The effect of
Mm-hmm.
container positions, because you maybe you want to sell or promote specific content above anything else on that specific page. That's all. Everything here is psychological, basically from the point of how humans behave when they start seeing things. Okay, it's like for us guys, and probably you women too. I haven't checked that out, but us, or at least me in particular, I see you. Okay, I see you, and you're beautiful and all that. But I might not take a second look at you. But if your shirt has something written in it, it's gonna take it. My eyes are gonna focus on it because I want to know what it says. It's gonna look creepy, of course, but it's the text that's compelling me to read it.
Mhm.
Okay, that's the problem. So that's what I'm talking about when I talk about the effect of container positions and all that. You might want to grab the attention of the audience that's visiting you,
Client.
uh-huh, to the specific area of the page. Design adaptive to the device that works together with the QA engineer and the backend, I mean, and the front end developer and the front end designer too, because depending on the device that's looking at the site, you might want to hide a complete container or section of the site, and maybe even
Okay.
show a different one, totally different one, or maybe the whole site changes if you're looking at it on the phone or the tablet or the desktop. Okay, or even it changes depending on their geographical location. So there's a lot of UX things here that are happening. Okay, the intuitive point of view, that's basically I should not be asking how do I get to this or how do I get to that. That's an intuitive POV there. Same, as you can see, all of them have uh,
The
one-to-one meetings there.
one-to-one
hmm
meeting.
APIs are very important. This is one of the most thought out things that we do. You can create with us. You can have your own mono-directional or unidirectional API or bi-directional API connectivity, so you can talk to Mailchimp, Soho, whatever platform. We've actually worked with over 150 different platforms through APIs.
Okay.
So the rules are put by you. There's triggering events, like something happened on the other site or on your BD site, you want something to happen, or a triggering sequence of events means that, for example, I had this question yesterday actually. Hi Luis, can I put a Google form on my site? And I'm like, yeah. There was a case that we did where they actually filled out the Google form, and then that sent that information to a Google Sheet, which every time the sheet got new information in a specific area of the sheet, it triggered specific data that was sent to their BD site so that it would create a data about that member. And if they actually got approved through a plugin, it would create a member in the site and send an invitation email to that member. So very complex
Oh,
there. We also
yeah,
had a
yeah.
case where, for example, they had an event and they were using a QR code device, so they would scan somebody the QR code. The QR code would send that information from their site, their BD site, from a front end page that they had, to an API where that QR code data would read and return the email and user of that person. That would then go back again to their BD site, create the member, create an email welcoming them to the site, and then they would go to a special page where we put their password, and they just finish up their account. So there's APIs can do a lot of things, but they're based. This part is very important. They're
Right.
based on your feedback about how you want the API to work. We also manage data
Okay.
propagation, how the information is uh, related to other, because on an API, it's you're not forced to do a one-to-one relationship, meaning you to Mailchimp. Maybe you want to do your BD site to Mailchimp, SendGrid,
Okay.
your Google Form, your like 5, 6, 10 different platforms at the same time. Every time a trigger happens, every time something happens in your site, for example. And data manipulation is basically how we parse and process the information in a way that the third-party API that we're um, connecting to, they approve the data and there's no problem. You don't have any problems there. So it works seamlessly. Okay. And
Okay.
lastly, here's where I also come in. Like most of the things here, I do, but here's the like. So some people ask me, okay, what should they know about Brain directories, specifically about Brain directories? Okay, so they should know about how lead system works, or on BD,
Mm-hmm.
how the lead system works. If they're going to be coding, how the widget system works, how they can call widgets on the forms, sidebars, static pages, etc., etc. How can one widget call another widget, and even um, share variables that you might need to do it like that. They need to know about the database structure on BD. They need to know about the email system because you might want to do a trigger and then send an email. So they need to know about that. They need to know about the CMS on the site so they know how to add new content and so especially static pages, for example. They need to know about the member management system so they can take care of their members. Okay, or at least the developer can do that for you in emergencies. Normally, I teach the BD owners about the platform so that I don't do things that they themselves can do easily. Okay, member
Okay.
category.
Perfect.
There's a video about member category. It's very extensive. This one. They also need to know the developer needs to know how that works. Payment system, the membership level system, which is this one, affects the member categories, the member management system, and a bunch of other things. Okay, they need to know how features are related to the membership and how they work independently, and how they are related to the members too. How the form manages special fields, and how you can add custom ones there, or you can scale the form to a really huge, like we've done pretty cool forms designs even. They need to know about the sidebar, how the menu manager works, the footer, the mini navigator menu at the top, like this baby here, or the main menu, which is this one. They need to know that this is a, a, the main the footer menu. Okay.
Okay.
Let me see. They need to know about basic, special, and advanced settings in the backend. So if you go to the backend, if you go to design settings and general settings, they actually affect a bunch of things on your site. But there's a special place called advanced settings that also affects. It's a little bit more complex there, but it affects even more how the searches are done, how members see each other, a lot of things. So they need to know. Why do they need to know stuff like this? Because if they don't know it, which is my problem with a lot of the developers, they end up coding that. And it was just a click away. On a lot of the sites, it was just a click away. That's why my emphasis on teaching the BD owners about what they have, what they actually bought,
Right.
what the purpose of all these videos, which you're helping me with right now. So this is something that the actual owner needs to know, so they know, I don't need to pay somebody. I can just click here. A developer, we need to know about the developer hub because that's cPanel, MySQL, the part of the SEO, etc., etc., etc. Well, here's the cPanel too. An owner needs to be careful here. The one mistake here can do something really bad. They need to know about reviews, comments, and discussion systems. Basically, how people connect between each other, the members, and how visitors connect with the members. Okay, including the lead, which I was talking about here. The coupon, which affects upgrades and membership plans when they join. What are static and dynamic pages and SEO in regards to those? There's a video about that here somewhere in there. Yeah, I gotta go organize those videos. Knowledge about the SEO templates, how they work, and what they can customize and what they should not be doing or they'll break them. How to edit text labels or special labels in the forms or in the features or actually on the membership levels or in specific widgets, all those, okay? And so on and so forth,
Okay.
okay? Because this is, yeah, this gets very long. The import and export process, there's a video that I did about that too. Doing QA for members, customizations, and settings. Obviously, if you're a developer and you're customizing the site, it's obvious, for me at least, it's obvious that you gotta do QA. I want to avoid
Okay.
as much as possible errors on your end. If one falls out and I don't detect it, at least I'm minimizing the amount of errors that you should see on your end. And you as the owner helping me do the proper QA on the site, we avoid the visitor or the members actually pointing them out. We want to avoid that uh, as much as possible. The
Oh,
security,
perfect.
okay, and if they're a very good developer, they can do code refactoring of any of the existing codes that are there, so they can optimize it. I've done code refactoring to, for example, the search engine, the enhanced search engine that I always mention. That actually runs between 5 and 10 times faster the more members that you have, and on top of that, it actually offers you oof more than 50 options to customize. Um,
Oh,
Same here. Same here. Even if the person knows about BD, they should meet with you. They have to meet.
yeah.
I've had cases where the owners didn't want to meet, and I'm like, I can't be guessing. I got too many questions for the 2 or 3 questions that you're asking me. Because I've worked in so many
Exactly.
industries. Yeah. And lastly, the SEO. So like if you hire me or you're hiring an SEO expert, an expert. I'm not an expert, but I it looks like it because of the quality of my work. But they should be able to do an SEO audit, which is very easy, without the need of, and I gotta say it like this, without the BS of giving you a 200-page PDF file saying these are all broken links. That every time for all those sites that give you a PDF of 100 or more pages, I know immediately that that's a BS. They will fall under the false positive category that I have, because as an SEO audit, that approach worked 15 years ago. Since 2019, especially since 2016, 17, 18, when Google BERT came about, the new AI from Google in 2019 with the changes in 2019, and other changes that Google has been doing since 2019, that old, really old approach doesn't work. So when you get it, when you do an
Oh,
audit, when you pay those $500,000 or whatever, and they give you a document about that, you just got ripped. And I can literally do
okay.
an audit with you live using that document, like on a private meeting, of course. And I can show you how many false positives they have. I can teach you how you can read those documents properly, and you can see that you fell into a trap. And I've seen that way too many times. So normally my SEO audit, I show it to you. It's very short. It's consistent. It goes straight to the point of what Google is asking for. Um, I specialize in what's called technical or internal SEO optimization. That's the one that I specialize. I help
Okay.
teach or guide you on the other two. Okay, so external,
Perfect.
which a lot of people call backlink or off-page SEO. That's how you relate to other sites. And internal, on-page or content SEO, it's literally your content on the site. Okay, I help on those three.
Okay.
Actually, there's a picture that I have here somewhere. If I can find it, give me a second. Let me see if I can find it here. Here. Yeah. Okay. Beautiful. Here. This is one that I saw on Google. So here the technical, which is the one that I do on page and off page. They actually relate to each other. So this UX accessibility and structure markup, they're actually part of on page too. But this is
Okay.
the one that I do to optimize your site. So any small things that you do on the site, they get boosted a lot. And those sites actually start ranking faster. I'm not saying that you're gonna rank earlier. I'm saying that anything that you do gets boosted, meaning that if you do a great job on the on page, meaning adding content and all that, you are going to start showing faster because of the technical SEO boosting your own page. And then basically off page is just your PR, public relationship there. So it's how you relate to other sites and how other sites relate to you. And them together, they basically make sure that you start ranking first. It's like you type in something about news and you see CNN or some specific site. That's because they
Mm-hmm.
they did a great job on all three. I help you on this one, so it boosts this one, so this one helps you with this one, basically.
Okay.
Um, but I also ask questions about how you're going to be marketing this later on. Are you going to be doing events? What's your target audience, demographic? I'm putting all this here, by the way, because I'm pretty sure when most of the people that got that PDF SEO BS, they never got questions or a very little amount of questions regarding what type of site they are. It was very plain. And these are critical questions because with that, I
Mm-hmm.
can determine specific SEO optimizations that I need to do on the site or specific ways of guiding you. So all that is these are things that you need to know. Okay, if you actually
Yeah,
hire
yeah.
an SEO advisor or you want to do an audit of SEO, especially because BD sites are mostly dynamically generated. And it's very important
Okay.
for you to know this. If a site or content is dynamically generated, a third party source that will do an audit is going to end up in a lot of false positives because everything is being
Oh.
dynamically generated. So it's not statically done. That was years ago. There's some pages that are statically done. Like if you go to the about page, for example, I don't know if they have like the contact us page or the member login page. These are
Mm-hmm.
static. They're not gonna be changing a lot unless you actually customize it. But if I go to news articles, for example, and they do an audit here, and at that moment I'm adding another what's this? A blog. It's gonna create an issue there. What happens if I
Mm-hmm.
rename this? If I rename this, it changes the URL. So then when they do the audit and they try to see if this is a 404 or a 200, which means if this missing or is this okay, it's gonna say that it's missing, but it's not really missing. It's just that dynamically the page changed. That's why
Mm-hmm.
BD internally actually it was one of the projects that I was doing inside BD. It was recreating the sitemap generator, so it would be more compatible with Google and if they that, internally speaking, Brain Directories offers you a sitemap generator, so you don't have to run a third-party one because a third-party one is going to give you so many false positives that it's not going to be funny. Okay,
Oh,
um,
okay.
but that's basically yeah. I know it was long, but I wanted to kill the questions because I've had that question asked way too many times. So now that we're doing a video, let's let's just kill it there. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
no. And
hmm
it's necessary to know too.
yeah.
Well,
Hmm I need to empower the
uh,
owners of the site. Yeah.
yeah, thank you.
hmm
And well, I know that well, with all this information that we know right now, maybe some people are asking or they are thinking about this same question. Maybe there's no a specific number or an official number, but you can tell us or you can answer like how many hours should a developer dedicate to the site?
Ooh. Okay, so that's gonna be a tough one. But let me explain what we have time. We have time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, So, first, I want to touch something here. So, the hourly wage or the hourly concept of charging per hour that worked great many years ago on professions that were directly related to manufacturing. Why? Because on manufacturing you were paid per hour because per hour you were able to accomplish this many pants or shoes or shirts or hats,
Mm-hmm.
or you were able to quantify how much of something was created during that time frame, okay, or at least get a range. So we knew that Lewis was able to create 10 shirts, between 10 and 12 shirts per hour. Okay, so the hour here, because of the shirt cost and the raw material, blah blah blah, will cost this much. That's where the whole concept of paying an hourly wage came in,
Mm-hmm.
and it's my opinion, by the way, that actually got propagated to other areas that were not supposed to be handled per hour. Which ones are those? Any intellectual one. And I don't mean the other ones are dumb. I mean the ones that you need to think and analyze and put your brain power there. And it might look like you're not doing anything, but you're actually thinking about the solution of a problem that does not yet have a solution or a result to it or an output. So, for example, you don't tell a doctor, okay, I have a brain cancer. How much per hour to take it out? It doesn't work like that. There's so
No,
many
no.
things that he needs or she needs to analyze there. You don't tell a lawyer how much per hour, and the lawyers that actually tell you the hourly rate, they actually give you a really huge one because it's for them it's just to simplify the fact that there's a lot of analysis, brain power that they need to put there in order to achieve their end goal, to defend you or to to whatever they want. This applies to any other profession that needs to
Mm-hmm.
be architecture, engineers, etc., etc., etc. Like anything that they need to think about, that the time that they're going to dedicate to something can be counted. Okay, so if you same for the doctor. If you say, well, how many hours do you think it will take to get the cancer out? They'll never know. Same for a software engineer. How long would it take you for to do this? On if I've done that many times, I can literally tell you, no, that's 5 minutes. I'm not gonna charge you.
Mm-hmm.
Or 3 minutes, it's this much, or 1 hour, it's less than a day, or but if you tell me, well, we want to do a payment gateway, we want to do all this and blah blah, there's no way for me to tell you how much that's gonna. Like, if you're gonna be forcing me, I want to make up a number and then add a zero. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not gonna be doing that, but my point being, you can't tell me how much an hour I charge. I don't charge per hour at all. That's why we got this here. See this? The partnerships? You click there and you go to the partnerships. And the partnerships are basically unlimited. We've done here's $12.95 a month. Okay. We've done projects that I know for a fact the owners would have had to pay 40,000, 50,000 in the small amount of time that they spent with us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? There's many that have actually stayed with us for more than 5 years because they know the value that they're getting here, the amount of work, experience, knowledge that they're getting here through this, and they gotta work for it, but there's a lot of value that they get here in the technological aspect of the business. Okay, and this is an online business, so this is practically your
Mm-hmm.
bread and butter. So like this is the base of you making sure that the site doesn't go to hell. And yeah, yeah, and you do great in especially this, and you automate your life so you have more time for yourself, for your customers, for new ideas. Because a lot of people that don't go through here, they do it themselves, and then a year from now they ask, I I'm not being able to grow, even personally
Mm-hmm.
speaking, them themselves. They have not personally being able to grow, take care of their family, grow spiritually, or investigate, because they wanted to, they didn't want to pay this, or they didn't want somebody to do this part. And when you're creating online business, it's the same thing as a real retail store. You gotta dedicate yourself
Yes.
to it. You want to grow that thing, you gotta dedicate yourself to it. If you can,
Yes.
if you can, what?
And no, no. And sometimes as an owner, we don't have time to be following all the progress or the work that is doing right now. So I
Yeah,
think that it's very important to know this.
correct, correct. Even the trends, you're not gonna have time to follow the trends. And for me to, for example, to explain to you, well, hey, we updated something on your site of a new technology that just came out that I've been studying for the past 2 years. Did you dedicate 2 years to study that new technology before it came out? No, because you're not. That's not your thing. Your thing is the point of your online business, the products, the services that you want to offer, your goal, your objectives regarding that concept of the business that you're growing. You don't want to add more fuel to the fire that you're trying to put out. That's the goal of this. Like, people don't understand that. And I'm sorry I gotta say it like this, but people don't understand that this, it's lacking one or two more zeros for the value that they're getting.
Oh.
So I put
Mhm.
it like this to at least try to make it as um, I would say cheap, but also affordable for people that actually have
Mhm.
an online business goal in mind. And sadly, we don't. I gotta change the wording here, but sadly, we got like before December. I think we can only take 3 or 4 more partners, and then we're done. We're gonna take this down. We're gonna take it down because I mean people will still be able to write to us, like contact us, but I need to take this down because at that point we'll only be working with the partners that we have. So um, yeah,
It's not the quantity, but the quality.
it, exactly. It's exactly that. Always try to focus on quality over quantity. The quantity will always come.
Yeah.
Kevin Costner, I think, build it and they will come. You provide good quality. You provide you show that you care and you dedicate yourself there, and they will simply come because they can see it. They can see it. I mean, how many other can on the marketplace can you actually see that they've done something like this? Or let me say something. For example, I've in the beginning actually got 2 or 3 uh, email, Telegram, or Facebook messages about taking down some of the videos here because they were taking a work away from them. And a lot of the things here are very basic. And also a lot of the things here are things that you as a video owner are supposed to know. So
Yeah.
I did not appreciate that. That's very shady. Hence why I'm trying. Trust me, I'm trying to help as many BD owners as I can. It's hard. I got my family, I got my team to take care of. But I'm trying to do it as best as possible as I can, and that's where this comes in. Okay,
Yeah, and I
so
know that we really appreciate it because when we get a license, well, sometimes we are not sure that, for example, if this site like a BD can be totally well, if you decide to get a site here, if it could be like created all in the same platform, it's
oh
sometimes it's like that question that you have when you got the license.
yeah, well yeah, when you go to WordPress, Wix, all those, Squarespace was another one there. Um, they it's the same question for all of them. Like you don't know, okay, is this
Yeah.
the proper platform? The answer there is, hey, you gotta test it. You gotta test drive the thing.
Hmm.
The only thing, the only pro thing that I can say there is that on BD, at least you get the option of talking to a developer or a designer
Hmm.
and having the possibility of changing your site. At least you have that. Because I've seen cases, for example, WordPress, you get that. But talk to any WordPress owner, and you know that on some cases they can upgrade their WordPress
Hmm.
version or a specific plugin because it will break, or the theme with the plugin. So it's like everything starts to add up, and it gets to a point where you don't even want to touch the backend anymore. So that's not how it's
Hmm.
supposed to. Obviously, that's not WordPress issue because you're abusing what the end goal of WordPress was, which was blogs.
Hmm.
It was just blogs, but people started adding more functionality, more. But I didn't think about, well, if we have 2 developers or 3 developers or 4, 5, 10, 1,000, 1,000,000 of them creating almost the same thing, aren't those things going to start creating a conflict between each other? Yeah.
Hmm.
Same for the themes. Same for any other customizations that you do there. Same for Unbridge directories, but that's why you have a team of experts that you will get to do uh, the thing that you want to do. There's several. We're
Hmm.
not the other one. It's just that sadly we're the only one from that are senior developers, former senior developers of BD. But I've actually dedicated years training others on the marketplace. Actually, there's several
Okay.
that are not even in the marketplace anymore, but they know they know a lot of tricks about BD. So that's good. We're not the only one. Okay. Um,
Okay.
But in regards to the hourly, um, yeah, we don't charge hourly. And how many hours should a developer dedicate to the site? That will completely depend on your needs on the site. Like if you take into consideration maintenance, yeah, I want to
Mm-hmm.
maintain the site. I want to do maintenance so it doesn't lag, it doesn't create issues, 301 redirects, 404s, etc., etc. Then they gotta dedicate, at least for example, for me, for the partners that we do SEO, every day I dedicate between 15 minutes to like 12 hours. It will vary, depend just on SEO. For maintainability on the database side, it could be 1 hour to, like, the worst case I would see like 3 hours maybe on the database side. On code refactoring, like optimizing the code and all that, it wouldn't be an hour. Like it could be a couple of days. But those are things that could happen at the same time on the same day for a specific partner or over the course of a week or something. So that's why it varies every day. So I've had cases that there was this partner that we have that's gonna launch tomorrow. If David is hearing me, woohoo! Um,
Mm-hmm.
and we also have another one, Jim and Chris, woohoo! They're gonna launch tomorrow, and we've had to dedicate. We actually had to, like, I had to work something like 8 hours, and then another team member had to work another 8 hours on it, and then we had to rotate ourselves because they were about to launch, which is another thing that a developer should be taking into consideration. When a site is in development, okay, now you do your thing there. When they're about to launch, they're in beta testing, you need to be more critical. And when they're about to launch, oh, dude, you need to be there 48 hours a day. Okay, so that part is that's for the hourly part. I got no idea how to charge per hour.
Okay.
And for what you're
Perfect.
able to do on BD, customizing all that, again, the whole that if the default is satisfies you, awesome. If it doesn't, you at least have the option of talking to a developer. Hmm.
Okay. Well, I know that maybe we have this question like because you don't know what's gonna happen. You are trying just to do it in the best way, but how can a site generate income?
How can I say generate income? Um, well, okay. So let's talk by default. You're not gonna hire a developer.
Okay.
Let's put it like that. By default,
Mhm.
BD gives you um, well, three ways. Let's put it three ways. You got the membership levels that you can charge there, a monthly, a one-time fee, a yearly, semi-yearly, however you want. Then you have the leads. Okay, on the leads you charge per lead. So if I send a message to one of your members, the member needs to pay for that lead so they can see my email, my name, etc., 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 my message, everything there. And then you got digital products, which are like additional services. Some people use them as a booking mechanism. Some people use them as selling a product, and they pay through that, and they do their thing there. So you got those three there to generate income by default. There's other
Okay.
much important ways of generating income, but how to generate income is the question. So when somebody asks me that, okay, how can I make money here? Or how much should I be charging? I saw somebody else asking how much should I be charging for my membership plan. So the
Yeah.
the real question there is, do you know your target audience? Do you know your demographics there? What are you selling, offering, simplifying for me that I will actually pay you to be on your site? So let's start with the first one, your target audience. There's a very different, let's say, membership plan cost between your site being for bankers and Wall Street agents, or whatever their terminology is, than to than to school teachers. Okay, So a school teacher,
Okay.
you can't charge them 1,000 a month or something like that. But a banker, you might be able to charge them 1,000 a month. I've seen places where that for the medical industry, for example, they charge 750 a year, and one of the partners actually has a lot of people there, but they charge that. Okay, that's one concept there. And then I've seen another
Okay.
one where they it's also a medical, but it's specific niche, and they charge them there like I think it was $20 a month, something like that. So it's going to vary strongly by the audience that you're trying to target or you're trying to bring to your site. That's one.
Yeah, you should know that very well. Like as an honor, it's very important to know it.
Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Like the other one is, for example, I got asked from Australia, how much should I be charging? And I'm like, okay, now you're entering the geographical and political variables for that chart. Because, for example, in 2018, you could have charged $50
Hmm.
or 20 or something. Okay, let's put $50. And then COVID came. And then Australia, for example, between COVID and the fires and then the bunch of things that just had. I mean, Godzilla was the only thing that was missing over there. And they already got huge spiders and monsters of any
Oh,
type there, but that
yes.
it was the only thing missing. So at that point, you need to take into consideration the political aspect of things that can impact your cost, and
Of
for you
course.
to adapt to it for you to adapt to it. Canada, same thing. When Trump, they had an issue with lead or something. Wood, lead. It was an importing exporting tariff, fee that were being charged. I forgot what it was, but it created a domino effect of changes that eventually made living in Canada a little bit more costly. Okay, so that charge, depending on again your target audience, you could raise that or lower that to help your community. Some people actually lower the prices and they say, well, because of COVID, we're offering I don't know 50% off for the the 12 months or 24 months or something like that. Okay, so you got geographical places that will change the cost, your target audience, which is the main thing that you're going to be basing that. You got political things that could change it. You could have competitors, so you also need to check your competitors. If they're offering something similar, you got to check what they're offering and basically make it either the same or lower or maybe above it because you're offering more things. So you can see that if I keep on talking, there's more variables that are going to change the end membership plan cost. I can't give you a straight answer. There's no straight answer at all.
Okay.
Okay? Look, for example, maybe Halloween. Maybe you sell things about Halloween and then Halloween came and you want to sell them cheaper or more expensive. So now you include
Hmm.
an event for that particular country. Okay? Maybe there's a strike that affects your target audience. You want to lower the cost. You want to
Yeah.
make it more. You want your audience to understand that you're thinking about them. So I can keep on going. Just it turns into a long conversation about how much you will be charging for that. Some people they just give you a straight answer, and that's a lie. There's no straight answer here.
Hmm.
It's you playing around, testing the waters until, for example, Google Analytics is very good at this. Google Analytics is one of the tools that I use for the SEO, and
Hmm.
it tells you how the behavior is going. Between Google
That's
Analytics and
good.
your Stripe account and the promotions that you're doing, your social media and all that, you are able to do forecasts. You are able to see how your site is behaving in regards to cost, in regards to income, and you can
Hmm.
adapt that. You can actually lower that, grow, increase the price. Obviously, alert people, hey, we're gonna be increasing the price. Normally, it's not recommended to lower the price unless there's a really huge excuse to doing that. Um, for example, COVID or something bad happened. But normally, if you're promoting the site and you want to add some added value to what you're offering, you can increase the price there and so on. But again, it varies between industry, niche, country, political changes, things that happen in a specific country, even language changes that.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of variables in that regard. Hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you have like another good tip for us, that the ones that got a BD license, or
Okay.
someone that is thinking to get one.
Well, think outside the box. I always tell everybody, don't compare your site or don't look at other sites. I would say 99% of the sites on BD, they don't they compare to each other. So they don't have they're not thinking outside the box. And I don't mean thinking outside the box just with design changes. I mean functionality. And
Okay.
always base your thinking not about what the platform can offer you, but what you're supposed to be offering your own clients, your own members, your your
Okay.
ecosystem of the business. The platform should be just something that's complementary to that and not forcing you to change the rules of your game to conform to what the platform is offering. So that's very important in BD because if you change your mindset in regards to that,
Hmm.
then you're not going to be asking me, which is the typical thing. They ask me, "Can we do this on BD? Can we do?" I tell people, "Don't ask me, can we? Tell me, I need this for the business." It changes your mindset a lot. So that's what I
Well,
got. Hmm.
to have a good team too.
To have,
You
yeah,
need to have a good team.
that's what the
Yeah.
partnerships are for. If
Yeah.
the obviously if the person can afford it, because not everybody, but if they're able to, you'll see the value. Over time, you'll see the value of why I call them partnerships. Okay? And why I always say think positive. I got your back. Like there's things that I can do that you're not used to them, because it's very hard to get actual professional software engineers, which we're all engineers. I'm a system engineer. I got 2 masters. I got 2 specializations also. There's I got a
Experience.
Yeah, I got experience. Let's put it like that. It's too much BS here, but I got experience in regards to this. I'm not a good salesperson, but I can actually make things happen at the software level. That's basically it. I think we can leave it up to now because it's gonna turn into a super huge video. But I hope that cleared
Well,
many of the questions that you had.
yeah. Thank you so much for your time, for your
Hmm.
explanations, and just to help us to be clear about what we are doing, or what we can do with this platform.
Yeah, no, you can do a lot of things. It's just that you take your time, because as a project, you're preparing, creating the project. You gotta take your time. And on project management, the 2 first ones are analysis and design. Take your time there, because with those two, you end up affecting the implementation, the coding, the feedback, etc., the enhancements that you do later on, all of that. So take your time, and I'm always here. Okay. Um.
I will.
Mhm. Okay. Big hugs.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Big hugs. Think positive. Okay. Thank you for the
Okay.
time. Okay.